I am so excited today because I have a really, really, really special guest.
Super special.
Super special.
The specialist.
Specialist ever. She is actually my producer, Cam. Hey, Cam.
Hey, you all know me. Still same old G. All right.
So she's out here representing today, and she's going to help us with some real estate myths. We're going to debunk or confirm some of these myths that are out there that you guys might have in mind that you're thinking, is this true or not? So before you get on your little Google search engine, you should be on 105 Go Country. You should be listening to us. And then you have questions or you have some real estate myths that we don't cover today, give us a call, 1-800-440-7566. What is that number, Cam?
Come on now. It's 1-800-440-7566.
There you go. So make sure you give us a ring if you got some more myths for us.
All right. So I'm going to basically give you the myth and you're going to debunk it for me.
I got you.
Because you are the expert I am just the producer. So, okay, let's do myth number 1. A home passes or fails inspection.
Myth.
Okay, why?
Because it's not a test, guys. We're not in high school. It's not like that. So the house is going to have stuff, okay? We're going to do a home inspection so that the inspector can find stuff. The only way it's going to fail an inspection is if you find so much stuff and for whatever reason the seller's not going to budge on getting it done or it's a deal breaker for you, then we can cancel and get your deposit back. But it never passes or fails. It's just you get a result of what's going on with the house.
So that would mean the deal fails, not the house.
Yes. The deal can fail, but if you hire me, probably not.
Tell them.
Yep.
All right, let's go on to number 2. It's better to price a home on the high side as the seller can always come down.
Oh, if I had $1 for every time a seller told me this. I love you guys. I can understand why someone would think that this would be true. But the fact of the matter is, it's a myth. Because, let's see. Let's look at it this way. If you go to the grocery store and you want to buy an apple, and I'm standing there also with an apple, and my apple is $500, and the apples in the bin are $1.50. Are you going to stand around and wait for me to bring the price down on the $500 apple? Or are you going to go to the ones that are $1.50 and just pick those up?
But what if your $500 apple is special? Maybe there's qualities that make it so much better than the other apples.
Then the way that we get people in the house to see that and to realize how much better this apple is we put the price a little below all the other apples.
Because you want a feeding frenzy.
I want a feeding frenzy. So we want to make the market, not chase the market, guys.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes, I stole it from a friend. But
all right, we'll give them credit.
So, yeah, we're giving them credit. I always give credit where credit's due. So I always tell my clients it's better to price it a little bit below what everybody else is priced at, because what we're going to do is we're going to end up at a price way above what anybody else is getting, because I'm going to get so many people into your house that they're going to be a bidding war and they're going to want to pay a lot of money for the house.
So you got to trust the process.
Trust the process. Trust your agent. Trust me.
That brings me to the next myth.
Okay.
All agents are the same.
Oh my goodness. Myth. This couldn't be farther from the truth. We are not all the same. I mean, are all people the same? Have you ever met the same person?
No, I guess not.
Okay, then the answer is no. We're not all the same, and we don't all have the same experience, and not everybody knows what they're doing. Not everybody is going to be a good fit for you, right? Like maybe you and me just don't get along. Maybe you don't like blondes.
Who doesn't like blondes? Come on now.
Oh, no. But we got 2 of them here today. Hot ones, too.
Yes. Don't mind us.
Yes.
We're just going to drop some knowledge. Okay,
all real estate agents are not the same because they're not all as hot as me.
Okay, but they all won't do the same job is what I think you're getting at,
they won't
right?
all do the same job. Not all of them have the same knowledge. It depends on their experience. It depends on their personality. I mean, it kind of goes without saying. Not everybody's the same. No 2 people are the same.
Okay, I think you successfully debunked that one.
Okay, good.
Okay, next. New agents don't have the know-how.
I would say that this is kind of a in-betweener. So I can tell you that when I did my first deal, I still work with the same lender who I did my first deal with, and he still tells me to this day, he's like, I would have never known that that was your first deal. The way you handled it and the way you did things, I would have never known, and I've done thousands of loans. And I was like, well, why? He's like, because you knew what to ask and you did all the right things. Why did I do that though? Because I had a good mentor. So guys, if you're new and you need a good mentor, you need to call me 1-800-440-7566. I have a team of amazing agents. If you're newer, if you've been around a little while and you just need you need that extra oomph, you need some leads, you need some just some motivation and accountability, call 1-800-440-7566 or get on my Instagram or my social media, DM me, send me a picture, whatever you want to do. I don't care. But call me, because we can teach you how to do this so that when you go out to your first deal or you go out to clients, you look like a rock star. You know what you're doing.
So let me ask you something, because this is what comes to mind when I hear you talk about this subject. Isn't it something in someone that you almost can't teach them, whether they have that drive to really, give good customer service, give the best kind of job they can do, also make the client happy and be confident? Isn't that part of just selling and someone's personality, or is it something that can be taught?
You can't teach people to not be lazy. So, you can't teach people integrity. You can't teach people, those things, you can't teach work ethic. Those things are not teachable skills, but the rest of it is. And I don't hire people and I don't bring anyone on my team who doesn't have those core principles like Cam was just talking about. So the rest of it's coming, the education part's coming from me, which is why, we do have those core principles. Like I never jeopardize any of that other stuff, right? So it has to be a certain type of personality, yes. And if you're working with someone who seems like they're not that personality, then you should probably stop working with them and call me 1-800-440-7566, guys.
I love that you are able to plug your number so often. It makes me very happy as a producer.
I'm pretty good at it, right?
Right. No, you're awesome.
I got mad skills.
All right. Next, on to the next myth to debunk. You get a better deal when buying a home through a listing agent.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. So I'm going to be super real. Sometimes it makes sense to use the listing agent, but it's the only time that I really do that is when I have a house that I know matches, like I'm a matchmaker and I have a listing that I know matches for one of my buyers. And I'm like, look, and if everybody's comfortable doing it, then we do it. But if they're not, then I assign it to another agent on my team. They work the one side and I do the other side so that we keep everything separate. As a general rule, it's a big fat no, right? For a bunch of reasons. But I will be completely honest and say there are some times where, if your agent has a house that matches what you need and it's not on the market and you don't have to compete and everybody can come to an agreement and it works out, then fine. But that is like few and far between. I don't have that happen to me very often. It's not something that you're going to find and usually for me, it's like a coincidence, right? But what people will do is they'll go out there seeking the listing agent, thinking they're going to get a better deal from the listing agent. And I get those calls from those people and I automatically am like, oh boy, shady buyer alert, right? I don't want to work with this guy because they're over here looking for a deal. Why do they think you can get a deal? They think they can get a deal because when the listing agent represents the buyer and the seller, the listing agent is going to get both sides of the commission. The seller pays all the commission, right? So now the listing agent's going to get the commission for the buyer side and the seller side. Who's getting a better deal? Are you getting a better deal or is the agent getting a better deal? Because it sounds to me like it's not you. Why would the agent give you their money? They're not going to give you their money. In the instances where maybe something like this happens, a lot of times what will happen is the agent will have a deal with the seller to give them a discount if they do both sides, but the buyer at no time should be getting a discount. And if the agent's going to kick you back money for that, then you're working with a shady person. And when you go to do that home inspection, I'm going to say it's going to be a fail because they're not going to ask for repairs. They're not going to help you push for stuff. It's going to be a little bit of a different situation. So if it's one of those things where, it's in the agent's best interest to work both sides, that doesn't get you a deal. I don't see how that gets you a deal. I don't know how people even...
I know that it's illegal in some states in the United States to double dip.
It's not. In some states, it is not allowed.
I know Tennessee is for one.
Yeah.
You cannot be the selling and the listing agent.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a fine line to walk. I mean, I've done it plenty of times, but you definitely need to make sure that the person you're working with is ethical, that it's, something that was kind of like happenstance, like not like you went out seeking. It just kind of turned out that way. But
serendipitous.
Yeah.
Well, also what I like about you is that when you take on someone, you really are like their pit bull or their guardian angel or whatever analogy you'd like to use, so that you're really fighting for their best interests. And if you are representing both sides, whose interest do you have?
I have both.
Right, but I think it makes it more difficult. So I think that having someone to fight for, I don't know.
It doesn't sometimes. I mean, if it's me, it's, but not, people don't have my skills. So, I mean, I know how to separate myself and be diplomatic. And I tell people from the beginning, look, this is going to be a little different program. Like, it's going to be a little more neutral. I cannot tell you what the seller is willing to do or not do. I cannot tell you, and I cannot tell them what you're willing to pay or not pay. Here's the information. Let's come up with a price. I'll present it. I go to the other side. This is what I think. Here's this. And if everybody's good, they're good. But as a general rule, it's a big fat no. Don't do it.
Okay. So, next myth. Getting pre-approved is done after finding your perfect home.
Girl.
I know. I already know, but I think you should tell everyone that's listening.
They do this a lot. And I love you guys, but it's very annoying. Especially when you're adamant about that, because me and my agents aren't taking you to see houses when you don't have a pre-approval. We are not Uber. This is not just, a fun thing for us. We don't get paid unless you actually buy a house. So until we know that you can buy a house, why would we take you anywhere? And if the agent will do that before they know you can buy a house, what kind of agent are you working with? Are they a very intelligent person? I don't know. But you need to get pre-approved for many reasons, guys. Like, you need to know how much you can afford. You need to know what your payment's going to be. You need to know if you're comfortable with that payment. And aside from all that, right now there's this little thing called COVID, and we can't get into a lot of houses without a pre-approval letter. I have to show proof that you can buy it. They don't want tire kickers in there just like looking around there and touching their stuff and using their bathroom. Guys, don't use the bathrooms when we're there, okay? But unless it's like an absolute emergency.
Sometimes you gotta go when you gotta go.
I know, but
if people have questions, they can call you about this, right?
Oh yes, let's plug that number. 1-800-440-7566.
All right, on to the next myth. Selling a home for sale by owner saves a lot of money. If I could show everybody your face right now.
Yes. That is a myth.
Why? Tell us.
Okay, well, are you concerned more about the amount of commission you paid or what you're going to net on your home?
I would be more concerned with what I'm going to net on my home.
Okay, then hire a freaking professional.
I agree, but I think that this is a myth that people think.
Okay. There is so much involved in the transaction aside from getting you the price that I have seen, let's just throw out some statistics, okay?
Okay.
For on average, for sell by owners will hire an agent within 12 weeks of trying to sell their house themselves. They will bump their head against the wall for 12 weeks. They are not going to get phone calls from buyers. You know who's going to call you? A bunch of hungry agents looking for a listing.
That's a good point.
Your phone's going to ring off the hook, and it's all going to be from agents, not from people who want to buy your house, people who want to sell it for you, okay? First of all. Second of all, do you know how to prep your house and make it ready?
Maybe.
No, you don't. And the pictures, do you know how to take good pictures?
I would, well, my Instagram says otherwise.
Your Instagram looks good, right?
Yeah,
Well,
think
you know what?
so.
Your house isn't an Instagram model, so it's not going to photograph the same way. Okay?
Okay.
We got to be able to make it, show what's up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they need to be professional. And for sell by owner, let me just ask you another question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to put this on the MLS?
For sale by owners don't go on the MLS, correct?
They do not. Why don't they?
Because there's no agent to list them.
Oh my gosh. And where does all the data that goes to Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, Trulia, where does all that data come from?
I'm guessing the multiple listing service.
Yes.
Which is the MLS, right?
Yes. How do agents find homes for their buyers?
The MLS. Okay, wait. I do have a question, a caveat to that.
Sure.
What's a pocket listing then? And how do you get a pocket listing? Is a pocket listing on the MLS?
Pocket listings aren't allowed right now. They're not allowed. We're supposed to be putting them coming soon as we have the listing. You're not supposed to be holding listings off the market because agents were holding them in their pocket, trying to sell them to their own buyers or like just market it like that because it was in their own best interest. And that's not a free market. What that does is it creates like a whole different thing. It's not a free market. It's like
So,
and then the seller is not getting the best price because again, it's just they didn't have the opportunity to put it to the whole public. So if you're able to send something out to the public, think about Facebook or Instagram, right? If you put something out there on social media and you get 10,000 views, you just reach 10,000 people, right?
Right.
But if you just are at a party talking to somebody, you're going to reach 10 people or 50 people. But
good point.
so you put it on the MLS, you're going to reach thousands of people.
But let's say I have dabbled in a little Redfin, Zillow, the stuff that Saturday nights are made of in my mid-40s now. But there are for sale by owners on there. How do they get their listing on there then?
You want me to give them? They don't. They call me instead, 1-800-440-7566 and use an agent.
I mean, I would use an agent. I would never not use an agent because you're a professional. Mm-hmm. I am a professional producer, not a professional real estate agent. So I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to rely on someone that does, like you.
Yeah. So let's say you need surgery. Are you going to do it yourself?
Well, what kind of surgery? I'm just kidding. No.
Let's say you need a haircut.
Oh, yeah, that's a bad idea.
You going to do it yourself?
Well, if you speak to my daughter, she would tell you otherwise. But no, I go to a hairdresser.
Yeah, you need a dentist, you need a tooth pulled. You gonna do that yourself?
I just take a string and a doorknob and shut the door.
Okay, well, you know what? Selling your house by yourself is kind of like pulling your own teeth.
Okay, that's a good analogy. I like that. I love a good analogy. So let's go on to the next myth. You should renovate your kitchen or bathroom before you sell.
Myth.
Okay, why? It sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it does sound like a good idea. It also sounds like a bad idea. Why am I gonna spend a bunch of time and money doing all that when I could just price my house right, have Cyrene come in, tell me how to fix my little kitchen cabinets to spruce them up a bit for real cheap, get some paint on the wall, and maybe put in a new countertop or a different mirror, or sometimes the stupidest things make a difference, like me putting a freaking flower pot on the countertop. Because people are
they want to feel like home, right?
They do, and they're tricked. They're so easily...
Don't make people feel like that right now.
I'm sorry, guys, but you guys, can you stop looking at them? If you're a buyer, the plants and stuff they're not staying with the house, guys. But they do make the pictures look better and stuff like that. But there's little things we can do. So don't go spend that money. Just price it right.
Okay. Save yourself the headache is what I'm
you're not
getting,
going to get back. Well, and you're not going to get back the money that not going to get back the same amount of money that you spent to do it. You might get exactly the same.
Some.
But why? But then you're going to be in the net because now you spent time, you spent money, and you're not going to get back as much as you spent, and you're moving.
But don't they say kitchens and bathrooms sell a property?
They do, but they do. But if you price it right, that sells a property too.
Okay, I get it. I'm just playing devil's advocate. It's what I like to do.
I'm just getting hypey. That's all I do.
Okay. All right. Next one. I think this might be. Oh no, it's not my last one. You're lucky. Okay, the less commission you pay to sell, the more you make.
This is again like the for sale by owner question. But let's say you went ahead and hired an agent who was willing to discount themselves ridiculously to get the deal, right?
Don't breathe heavy like that.
Sorry.
No.
Is it doing something for you? My bad. Now, I'm just thinking out loud here, but let's just think about this for a second. If you're hiring a real estate agent who negotiates their own money that way, what are they going to do with yours?
That's a good point.
So if I have to come and sit down at your table and my value proposition is, I'll charge you less, what does that tell you?
That maybe you don't think you're worth it.
Either I don't think I'm worth it or I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Or you're going to get a cheap job, right? So if I'm going to get paid a lot less, you're going to get less service because no one's going to work harder for less money, right? So if I get paid less, I'm going to spend less money on marketing. I'm going to spend less. I may or may not. And when I say I mean they, because I'm not discounting. So.
But you're worth it.
100% worth it.
I know.
You're going to get so much more money. Okay, let's say you're paying 1% less on a $500,000 house.
Okay.
You're saving $5,000, right?
Right.
Okay, that $5,000 that you saved could cost you 10.
right, in the purchase
Imagine
price.
your agent comes through and takes the pictures with their cell phone and they got their finger in there and you can see the toilet lid's up and there's like someone sleeping in the bed and, you know, the house looks like hell because they took the phone pictures and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Or they just took one picture, put on the MLS and wrote a few words and called it a day. Didn't do any advertising. We always do advertising for you. Check out my Facebook, Cyrene Properties, Cyrene. Check out my Instagram, Cyrene Properties, again, Cyrene. The spelling hasn't changed. And take a look at some of the pictures and stuff like that, because that stuff makes a huge difference. And if you don't have the experience, or you're not like, if you're discounting yourself to the point where, you know, you're barely making anything, it's just, you know, it doesn't make any sense.
I agree. Those are all really, really valid points. Okay, next myth. Agents get kickbacks from lenders, title, and inspectors.
Hello, that's a myth. It's illegal. If your agent's getting kickbacks, get a new agent. It's not legal to get kickbacks from your lenders, title, or inspectors. We are not supposed to be doing that. And I'm sure there's people out there that do, but that is not something that I do, which is why you should call 1-800-440-7566 and hire me to buy your house. Oh, maybe not buy it, but probably sell it.
Or list it,
buy a house, sell a house.
List it, sell it,
Yeah,
flip
whatever you
it.
need, flip it, whatever. You want advice? You want?
She's got it all.
You want to do drinks?
Yeah. No. We shouldn't put that.
We can't
up
do
there.
that?
No.
Okay.
Your phone's gonna be ringing. Okay. Next. I think this is like the best myth of them all right now.
Okay.
Agents will say anything to make the sale.
This one makes me sad.
It does. It hurts a little, doesn't it?
It makes me sad because this is why a lot of the people, like a lot of the public, kind of equate real estate agents to like used car salesmen.
Slimy.
Slimy, grimy.
I don't think you're slimy or grimy. At least
I'm
you don't
not.
smell that way, and I'm sitting very close right now.
No, I try to keep it clean, but which is really hard on this show because I'm not allowed to cuss. And if anybody knew, any of you who know me know I have a potty mouth. So some agents
Are you all just lip service?
no.
I wouldn't think so.
Some of us are. Some agents are, and those agents suck, and I don't like them, and I wish they would leave the industry because they're giving a bad name to the rest of us. You know, if you have an agent that's a top producer like me, you need to check it out. Like, check out your agent. See how much they are doing. Like, are they doing 1 deal a year, 2 deals a year? Because the people that are doing less deals might be a little more desperate to get your business and desperate to say or do whatever they need to do. But if you have someone who's experienced, it's like, I don't want to sound cocky, but it's kind of like, I don't need the business. I'm not going to die if I don't get the business, right? I'm not going to die. I'm not going to not be able to feed my kids if you don't hire me. So I don't need to come to your house and just say whatever to try to get you to hire me. I don't need to do that. That's not something I need to do. It's not something I want to do. It's not something I need to do. And if you have a top producing agent, that's going to be pretty much the you know,
they're going to
MO.
have a reputation
Yes.
to rest their laurels on already that precedes them. And also, I think that my point, I was thinking while you were talking, when you said you don't need the sale, but you're looking for clients to have for life.
Forever.
So that means not just their first home,
Nope.
their last home, their sale, their investment portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do that, you got to be on the up and up. So why would you ever overpromise and underdeliver just to, you know, get the deal done? That's not you.
Stupid. And I got to be on the up and up no matter what. That's just not how I live my life. But some people, they don't care, and they think of it, they look at one transaction, the next one, but they're not thinking about future business. And I can tell you, just as a business owner, future business, forget about real estate, forget about anything. As a business owner, future business is worth way more than current business. So it's important, especially in this industry. I don't want a bad Yelp review. Our name gets around. People know who we are. Like, if we're in certain neighborhoods a lot, we're like little, I don't want to say mini celebrities, but people remember our face and know us, you know?
Sure.
So it's familiar. So if every time they see our face and they go, oh, that's that grimy person, and the neighbors talk, like, and even if they didn't, it's not okay.
Right.
Don't be that guy or girl. Don't be that person.
Do you remember on television years ago, it used to be the real estate, they would show listings on like one of the local channels. You're young. I'm old. But I'd love to watch it. And then one time I went to sushi with my mom and I'm like, Mom, that's Susan Jones. And she's like, what are you, crazy? I'm like, no, I watch this real estate. I was just really bad quality listing commercials that used to be on local television. I don't even remember what station, but I would be like, Jerry, I know that guy. I know him. I recognize him.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
It's kind of like the guy, Cal Worthington.
Oh, and his dog Spot.
Like everybody knows that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, that's all my myths. Do you think we covered a good amount?
We covered some good ones. I liked these. These were really good today, and I'm glad you joined me. We are like the Bubsy twins over here. I mean, we are both blonde, curly hair, like
Wavy.
big, bright, beautiful smiles.
Oh yeah, that smile.
We are kicking it butt today over here. We are looking good.
We're gonna make this Sunday a great day. Isn't that what you
We're gonna make it a great day every day.
Yes, but someone wrote me. They emailed me a question. William actually emailed me a question, and I'd like to ask you.
Okay, William, if you're listening, let's answer this question for you.
William wants to know what precautions are being taken due to COVID right now in regards to open houses.
Okay, well, before you can go into any house, you have to put on a hazmat suit.
A full hazmat suit?
No, I'm just messing with you.
Oh, I was really buying it. I was like, do they have extra large?
Stop. No. Yes and no. So there are definitely precautions being taken. We're only supposed to have 2 people in the house at any one time with an agent present. So if you're a seller and you're insisting on staying for the showings, I love you, but please go to the backyard at the very least or go walk the dog. We don't want you in the house when we're showing it anyway. Secondly, we have to wear a mask. We do need to sanitize our hands. Booties and gloves are optional. We don't have to use those, but a lot of people will ask for that. And sellers have a right to ask for what they want. And there's also a form that needs to be signed before people can go into the house. It's called a PED form. It's a, here we go. Property Entry Advisory Disclosure or something like that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds about right. I just call it a PED because we see them like 700 times a day.
Right.
So every time you go into a house, it has to be signed. So if you're one of my buyers, I'm sorry. You're going to have to sign a lot of these papers, but it's cool because I got DocuSign.
Yeah, so quick, lickety split. All right, well, William, that's what's up with open houses.
Open houses is not what's up though. William, open houses aren't allowed. So if you're at an open house, that agent is not following the guidelines.
So
by
it's
the
like
state.
by appointment only right now.
Yeah. So now what we're doing, instead of like an open house, it's like we'll do certain hours on a weekend or whatever. But then and an agent is present. One of my agents or myself are present, but everything's like by appointment in 15-minute increments.
Oh, got it. Okay. If they're keeping it organized. And I like that. Just
well,
like
I'm
you.
keeping it organized.
Well, yeah, you keep it organized.
Not everybody does it like that. Some people just, I don't know what they're doing. These showings are difficult to get right now. Like some of them are just, it's like a freaking, it's probably like getting tickets for Disneyland right now.
Oh, yeah, they just opened. Well, guess what time it is?
What time is it, Cam?
It's time for you to wrap up.
But I was having a good time.
Me too.
Okay, well, it's time to wrap it up, and I got showings to do and lots of things to be working on today on this beautiful Sunday. And if your agent tells you they don't work weekends, it's a little weird. Okay, so if you want to get in touch with me, www.cyreneproperties.com is my website. You can contact me on Instagram. It's Cyrene Properties, Cyrene. Cyrene. I hope you're hearing that in your sleep. And then you're going to follow me on Instagram, Facebook. You're going to find me, and we're going to talk more about real estate. Or you can just call 800-440-7566. Cam's all over those voicemails. I'm all over those voicemails. Whatever you guys need, just give us a call. And you know what? Make it a great day.